Best in the league. They've given up 21 power play goals. Adam Fox carrying the puck. All the way. Fox to the net. He scores! Adam.
High fly ball to left. Is it going to be enough? Back at the wall. Game time. In. Rose quickly ahead to Barrett. One man to beat. Goes up and throws it down. R.J. Barrett with authority. And the game is tied. Richie Barrett.
What is up, Cowboys Nation and all the other NFL football fans and sports fans? You survived our pilot episode. Now we're back to the official start, and no better way to start than the NFL playoffs. So, you know my boy Jimmy, he's going to be jumping on. You see him, he's ready. Wait, what is going on? Jimmy.
What do you think?
You're stepping it up a little bit. You've been getting some comments or something about the decor.
Exactly. So I got some comments. Namely, I got a handful of comments. Namely, your brother Danny opening his big yap, talking about how I got no bling, I got no flair. Where's all your merch at? You know what? So I had to step up to the plate a little bit. But Danny, do me a favor. Keep your mouth shut, okay? When I see you, I'm going to close it for you. All right. Now, speaking of Danny, what happened to your head coach, bro? What happened to your Denver Broncos? You're running your mouth about what I got going on for merch. Your guy got canned. He's fired. Your team stinks again.
Well, yeah, they came up short again, and we want to get into we're going to get into Black Monday. We're going to review the week. But first, I want to just tell everyone, thanks for joining the first official launch of our show. Make sure, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like, share, hit that alert button. We're going to have some things going on. I'm going out to AT&T, so I might pop in live every now and then, give you a feel for what it's like in the playoffs at AT&T Stadium. But first, let's jump into it, Jimmy. Let's get into this NFL. It was a wild week, but we got to start with what they always call Black Monday. It was a tough day for some NFL coaches.
Yeah.
Some are surprised, some aren't. What's your take? You know, we talked about Vic Fangio with the Broncos. What's your take on that one? Let's start with him.
Oh, I mean, what were they? 7 and 10, whatever they were. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, not a surprise at all. I think what the bigger surprise is, we're going to talk about coaches who got canned today. What about Miami?
Well, if Fangio wasn't a surprise, I think he was a bad fit from the start for the Broncos. But what Flores has done in Miami, I'm shocked. My brother Louis lived down in Miami. He gave me some insight. He said that first, there was some disagreement with the quarterback. I don't know what's true, but the guy had a winning record, won 7 in a row. He had back-to-back winning seasons. They haven't had that since Wannstedt. So I know he was shocked. I know he was upset. And, and I feel for him.
Wait a minute. Did you hear the press conference today?
No. Did he make any comments?
Yeah, well, Ross is up there, giving the whole spiel and, thanks for everything you've done for the team. But then Flores busted into the press conference. Hey, Dom, do you have that, cue up that press conference audio? You see, man, I think he knew.
He sounded pretty upset to me.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I'd be pissed off, too, if you're going to let me go after some winning seasons.
Two winning seasons in a row, what? For the first time, you said, in 20 years?
It's Wannstedt. You're going back forever. This team hasn't done nothing. People talk about the Cowboys. I can talk some smack to these Dolphin fans because growing up in South Florida, they hadn't won a Super Bowl. I was in my dad's nutsack the last time they won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They sit there and run their mouth.
1985 were they in the Super Bowl?
No, they hadn't won since '73.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I was a thought. They went to the Super Bowl in '84 and got trounced by the Niners and Joe Montana. But that's another story.
That's a long time ago.
Long time ago. But the other one, with Florida is Nagy, with the Bears. He was touted as this offensive guru, the genius, and he was going to get things going. But, Chicago Bears, they haven't been able to get a quarterback since McMahon.
No, yeah.
Maybe Fields is the answer. I don't know. But, they're going to make a change there. And you look at Fields and the potential in these young quarterbacks. I always say it's a situation you get into. Now you don't know what he's going to get. But, I think that one was probably the most expected firing that I saw on Monday. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised. I mean, they definitely have underachieved. They've been underachieving for years. We do actually, did you hear the Weekly World News, that publication?
Yeah.
They actually, they somehow got a secret microphone into Nagy's house. Did you hear that today?
No,
it was all over the internet.
You got to play for the audience. We got to hear what happened.
Dominic, you got that Weekly World News audio from Matt Nagy? Cue it up.
When did you get home? I thought you were at work.
No, I ain't at work no more. I got canned today.
So, are you saying that there might be a divorce in the making?
I mean, man, his wife, she didn't even know. It was a surprise to her. Wasn't a surprise to us, but it was a surprise to her. So,
if she didn't know, she had been reading the paper, going on the email, watching the games, because they've been dogging him for years. Those fans have turned on him quick. So, and who was the last one? Mike Zimmer.
Zimmer, he's out. Well, you
know
what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's his time. I think it ran its course. But I'm a Zimmer fan. He was our coordinator. Back in the day, I always thought high of him. I still do. I think he's a good coach. But I think it's one of those. I think he was a victim of when you've been there too long and you're good. The records are good. They've had some good seasons, but they haven't been able to get over the top. And I just think they need a fresh start there too.
Yeah. So, and that was it. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's funny. Mike and I were talking earlier. We usually come on Wednesdays. We wanted to get out ahead of the game this week because who knows who's going to get canned tomorrow.
No.
So we might have some more discussions about this next week. Speaking of which, let's talk about games this weekend. I like your guys' homecoming game against the Eagles.
Well, like I said, and that's why we had to do it tonight because I'm pumped up for the playoffs. The Cowboys are looking good, and there's nothing better than slapping around them Eagles. And they can talk about they had their backups, they had this and that. Their backups played better than the starters did when we played them Monday night and embarrassed them. So if you want my opinion, they're going to the playoffs. I'd play these backups. They had some heart, man. Them running back, the running back was working hard. Minshew didn't look too bad. Their line was solid. Their defense, they did the best they could until we decided to say, you know what? We took it easy. We were going to just coast in and win. But now you guys want to make it a game. We thought this was just going to be an exhibition. We didn't know they wanted to make it a real game. Then we had to turn it up a little bit, tell them how it really works, tell them who runs the East, show them that they're always going to be the little brother. They're always going to be the homecoming opponent.
Well, stepbrother.
We dropped 50 on them.
Yeah.
That's just what had to be done. Well, and then I'm watching videos. They're talking about the Eagles being so tough in the stands. And then the guy's getting his butt whooped by the Cowboys fan. They're getting beat in the stands, getting beat on the field. You probably got beat in the parking lot for all we know.
Cheer again, yell, throw in the damn towel. Throw in the towel. You know what? Well, I can news for you. You're talking about the backups having more pride than the starters. I mean, if you played in a dump like that and you had to deal with, living in Philadelphia, you probably wouldn't have a lot of pride either.
No.
Place is disgusting.
I wouldn't spend a nickel in that place.
No, exactly. So, what else did we have this weekend? We had the Cowboys kicking some ass.
Well, we did, but I tell you,
51 points.
Everyone talked about having that extra game, and is it going to create a stale atmosphere? Whatever. But what a way to end the season, the regular season, with 3 unbelievable games. I mean, you're talking about Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Questionable decisions that ended up working out for Tomlin. He punted. He got conservative in the end when they thought they'd maybe go for it and go for the win in regulation. It took his chances in overtime. They pulled it out. They needed a miracle. Then they get the miracle, and now they're in the playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger's, his last year. He's got a chance. You get the playoffs, you got a shot, right?
You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. And who they got? They got Kansas City this weekend. Is that who they're playing?
Yeah.
So you got you got the veteran, the wily old veteran versus Mahomes, and I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that Pittsburgh is gonna get their asses kicked, but that's another story. But like you said, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Who's gonna end up on the COVID list? You never know.
That's why that's why you got to play the game. You got to lay out, and you get in the playoffs, and you just see, let the chips fall where they may. The other crazy game was it made a difference for us was the L.A. San Francisco game.
Yeah.
L.A. Rams San Francisco. The Rams are up 17. You think they're going to cruise, and San Francisco, they fought. They came back. They're going to be a tough out.
Well, I was happy because, first of all, that knocked the Saints out of the playoffs. And being a Falcons fan, I like that. So, yeah, and, Garoppolo was hurt. He came in, with a hurt thumb, I think he had. So he came in, showed some poise, like you said, big comeback for them. And that leads into, you guys next week, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But, for the Rams to blow a lead like that, you got to scratch your head.
It's Stafford being Stafford. This
big
guy,
interception.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback, but he just when it comes crunch time, he just never can deliver. He couldn't deliver in Detroit. He comes to the Rams. They get rid of Goff. They surround him with all this talent, and the pass that he threw at the end of the game was just what are you thinking and what are you doing?
Yeah.
You severely underthrew Odell Beckham. Get the pick. Game over. And, that leads us to probably the craziest game. I don't know if you stayed up. I thought I was going to go to sleep. Then I just got sucked into the game. I thought it was over, and I stayed. And what a wild finish with Vegas and L.A. Chargers.
Yeah.
You want to talk about – it had every bit of the drama that you want in your season finale, the regular season finale. Kudos to the NFL for putting that on Sunday night to end the season, because it had all the drama. It had you wondering what the coaches were thinking, especially on the Chargers side.
What was that timeout about?
Well, the timeout was crazy because it looked like Vegas was going to concede the tie.
Because it didn't matter.
They weren't going to take any chances.
Right. It didn't matter. Right. If they tie, it's the same as a win anyway. So
yeah, and they both get in.
And they both get in.
They both would have got in. And then the questionable call where they went for it on their own 19.
Yeah.
I'm all for analytics and stuff, but man, use your judgment. Use your eyes. Understand the importance of the game. You can't always just look at numbers and percentages. You got to get a feel for the game, and more importantly, the importance of that game. And some bad decisions by that coach. Being a Cowboys fan, our coach, he sneezes the wrong way. They blame him for everything and say he can't do clock management. That's the big thing they hit him with. I didn't hear clock management once on the Chargers team. The next day. So. The media has their narrative, but that's another subject that I can get into long-winded about.
Well, did you hear what Rex Ryan had to say?
No.
Rex Ryan called him out. Rex Ryan was all pissed off. Oh, yeah. He said something about high school play calling or something to that effect. He did. Rex Ryan went off. He actually said D3 play calling, and, what was that all about? They wanted to see, he wanted to see the Chargers in the playoffs with the young quarterback, so... he was good, pissed. Man. He is good. So if you get a chance, pull up the Rex Ryan.
No, I have to. I'm not a fan of his because he's got a mouth, but every now and then he comes up with a good.
He's got a mouth and
he hates on my Cowboys for no reason, and he never has anything valid to say about it. It's all this, the BS that they like to throw on there to make it sound good on ESPN. But he is funny.
He's got a mouth and a foot fetish, so he's batting 1,000. Yeah. So. What are you thinking? When are you showing up to Big D this weekend?
Well, I already booked the flight. Yeah. The Learjet's going to be landing about 3 p.m. on Saturday. I'm going to head over to Texas Live, hang out with Cowboys Nation, get everything going, watch some football on Saturday night, and then it's a 3:30 game there, so it's a perfect time. I've been to a couple early games there. I'm glad we're not the early game. The late games I really like, but the problem is what I always say, the waiting's the hardest part because it's just you're at the anticipation. So the 3:30 one's perfect, man. I'll get some Miller Lights. I'll be juiced up on Saturday night. I'll get to sleep in a little bit and be ready to rock with Cowboys Nation. Find a good tailgate party to go to, have some fun.
Hang out with all your adoring fans. Exactly. Hang out with all your adoring fans. Are you going to do the meet and greet or what?
Nah, it's cool. I've got to see some, and we've dropped some hype videos. It's funny. I just did a cameo. I had a cameo for a birthday, and they're getting ready for the game, so wanted me to get them hyped up and stuff. So I tell you, the whole, everything with the fans, I think we talked about a little bit, and with social media and what Twitter's done and YouTube and the internet, it's gotten, someone like me who's a huge Cowboys fan living in Florida, being able to interact with the fans, being able to feel part of the community in Dallas and really enjoy the ride. So I'm excited. I got my new seats, so I'm going to get to break them in. I was able to get an upgrade by the season's end, so they let me get a sneak peek with them at the playoffs. So I'm jacked up, man. I'm ready to go. I got my buddies coming to the game with me. My wife's a little upset, but I had to bring the enforcer with me, big dude, just in case anyone gets out of line. Any of these Niner fans get out of line. I need someone to slap them around a little bit.
Crap, yeah. Hey, when you did the cameo birthday, did you say "Happy Birthday to you"? Fee, fi, fo, fum. How can you be so dumb, brother?
To come to AT&T for the playoffs. It's funny, they were doing the thing was they must have been throwing him a surprise coming to America themed party. So we're movie buffs.
Yes,
so right away,
exactly.
I was like, I had to throw in McDowell's, make sure you got some big mix, and then I said, make sure you got some decent attire. And I want to make sure at the end of the night, them bathers bathe you thoroughly, really juice it up. I tell you, the cameos are a ton of fun, man. They're people don't understand the work that I do. I'm not, some of these guys will sit in there and they read from their phone and they read the messages. I get out pieces of paper, I write everything down, I plaster it on the back wall, and it's just like a hype video.
You're a professional.
Yeah,
You're a professional.
I want to give people are paying their money. I want to give them everything they got. So and I always check with them to make sure they're happy. If not, I'll redo it. Thankfully, I've never had to redo one. Everyone seems to really like it, but it's made the season fun. Now we got to take it to the next level of the playoffs, and really, I want to see this team just. Man, it's destiny. Everything that's happening, man. I'm so hyped up for this weekend.
Gotta take it to that other level of the game.
Other level of the game.
Hey,
do it like a Geo.
Do it like a Geo.
Ghetto boy.
The best. Hey, what about the Green Bay fan calling you out on was it Twitter today?
It's TikTok, and the
TikTok.
thing, I started putting stuff on TikTok. I'm not a social media expert, but a buddy of mine's like, man, you need to just drop your videos on TikTok. You'll get a good response, but man, they're mean on there. They're nasty. They call me every name in the book, and especially if we lose. I always say that's the problem with my videos is I do most of them pregame. And so I'm obviously predicting that we're going to win, and I'm going to talk to smack. So if they lose, they unleash the hate on me, which I enjoy.
Fine.
I love interacting with the hate. Sometimes I get mad because they interact with the hate more than the positive, and I should focus more on the positive. But I've gotten to the point on TikTok where I post it, I ignore it, and then my kids will come in and they'll tell me what people are saying, and my son he'll go in there and talk smack with them back or whatever. So it gives them something fun to do.
Yeah, that's good, man. Well, I didn't realize you're that deep into TikTok.
I'm not. I just post those videos. I just basically post them on there and go. But they get a lot of, I get a lot of traction, especially on the post game ones, with the haters as well as with Cowboys Nation. So it gives me something to do, on Saturday when I drop it or Sunday, depending on when whatever time we play. The post game ones are the most fun because people take it, they take it really serious and they get pissed off.
Yeah. So what else do we got going on, man?
Well, the playoff matchups. That's what I think we want to talk about. It's going to be pretty interesting how things shape up. We talked about Kansas City and Pittsburgh. But now you got Vegas playing the Bengals, and the Bengals they're a sneaky team. They're they're high they're high low sometimes. They get hot and they get cold. I love Burrow. I think he's just cool. I loved him when he was at LSU, and he's pretty much doing the same now with Cincinnati. And then you got this Vegas team that's been through so much. You think about Gruden, Ruggs. They had another guy with a DUI.
Yeah, they've been a mess.
So much turmoil
Yeah.
within that team. And for them, I give Derek Carr a lot of credit as a leader. For him to get them where they're at, I mean, you got to tip your hat to them. They could be a dangerous, the playoffs we talked about is so wide open.
You never know.
You just don't know what's going to happen. It's not, I always go back to the 90s. It's not when you had, Dallas and San Francisco. They're going to meet. That was pretty much the Super Bowl, and whoever was coming over on the other bracket was just going to get thrashed, which unfortunately was the Bills all the time, which that doesn't bother me. And it's funny because the Bills, they talk smack on us. I'm like, dude, you beat the crap out of you. I don't know how many times embarrassed you in the Super Bowl. And, you have a nice little team, but they still haven't won anything. I mean, let's talk about it. If you're going to sit there and talk about us, they haven't won nothing.
Well, what? They have the Patriots this weekend, right?
They got the Patriots, which you got a few of these in the AFC and NFC, right? You got these divisional games, which you know as well as I do. And
you never know. Yeah. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's in Buffalo. They like to taunt the Bills Mafia and all this other crap. But again, it's like I said last week. The thing with the Bills is they always find a way to win. I mean, there's been, with the exception of choking against Jacksonville, they just find ways. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But the Patriots are still the Patriots, even without Brady.
Yeah. No, they are. But you're going to have a rookie quarterback making his first playoff start. Sure. Allen is, he's been there. He's seasoned. He's the high price, right? He signed a big contract. They talk about it with Dak. Well, he should deliver this, and they should. They should win. I mean, there's really no reason why they shouldn't.
You would think, but keep in mind, Allen's had, I think, 3 or 4 games with at least 2 interceptions. He had one.
He's been turning it over.
Yeah, so he's got turnovers. So that's going to be. I think that's going to be the make or break with them. The turnovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have that. We have Eagles, Buccaneers.
So now, going to the NFC side, you got the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Yeah. Tampa, I'm not impressed with. I mean, I don't know if you watched some of that game, last week. Now you don't have Brown. You don't have Godwin.
Yeah.
Fournette, I think maybe he's playing. Maybe he'll be back. But their linebackers, they're not the same team that they were early in the year.
No.
You still got Brady. So I mean, Brady's Brady, but at some point, he needs help, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't think Philly could beat them, but I don't know if they'll be an easy out for them. If they get to running and stuff, it could be interesting.
No, I don't think it's going to be an easy out, and it's like I said last week. I just don't see the Buccaneers going deep. I think they're going to beat the Eagles, but I think that'll be about it. Did you see it? Was Antonio Brown was it Barstool Sports or something this week running his mouth? Did you see that? That was something else. It was pretty funny.
It is. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad in the same, in the same breath, because you look at him and you look what Brady did to him, did for him, helped him out, got him going, got him on the Bucks, and Brown's a great player, but just to dog Brady, to go on a rant, I just don't know if you're helping yourself. And Brady's not writing your contract. The reason you got paid minimum is because all the crap you did before with the Raiders and all the antics and the trouble with the law and bad decisions. That's what got you where you're at, And Gronk got paid. I mean, it's not like Gronk's making a ton of money in Tampa, but he got paid because he's still a great tight end, and he's been with Brady from for many years. That was a comfortable piece for him to bring over to Tampa. One has nothing to do with the other. So.
I do want to keep talking about AB, but I wanted to say we actually have a phone call. Props to you and the Cowboys. You guys are killing it. I got nothing to root for. My Falcons were knocked out 2 weeks ago. But on the line, we have a 49ers fan. He's going to come in. He's going to make sure we keep this fair and keep it straight and keep it down the middle. He's a big 49ers fan.
So you're going to surprise me, and you're going to get someone on because your team's not in it.
No, we're not in it.
So you don't want to hear so much. So now you want to bring a Niners fan in to try and rile me up a little bit.
Jimmy, you there?
Hey, I'm here. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, pretty good, pretty good. So I called tonight to chew bubble gum and talk football, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
So you're a Niner fan, huh?
Oh, yes, my friend. What are you doing today? Celebrating the 40th anniversary of the catch, or what?
Well, that was a nice play. That was a nice play. I see we're gonna live in some history. So why don't we talk about a little earlier? A little history later. Talk about in the '90s when we slapped you guys around a couple times in the championship game and went ahead and brought us a couple Super Bowls. You want to talk about that time, or you want to talk about the '80s?
I love it. I love the '90s. Let's go right to '94 because that was my favorite.
That was a good year. You had Dion, you signed him, and then what did we do? We snatched him right from you, laughed at you, and then we won the Super Bowl in '95.
Yep. The '90s were definitely the Cowboys. I'll give you that. The '80s were the Niners.
I'll give you. I like Montana. If you want to talk about quarterbacks, I don't know if you've been watching the biography on Joe Montana that's on the Peacock Network. It's actually a pretty good story. Listening.
Oh, yeah, I haven't got started with that one, but it's definitely something I'm going to be willing to watch. And you can't deny the '80s and the '90s with the Cowboys and Niners is definitely one of the all-time great rivalries. And those 3 years, '92 to '93, '94, every one of those championship games put one of us in the Super Bowl. So,
those like I was telling Jimmy earlier, when that era, that was the Super Bowl, because whoever won was just going to trounce the AFC team. So no, all kidding aside, I have a lot of respect for the 49ers. I'm more pumped, when everything happened. I'm going to the game, this weekend, and when I heard it was, going to be 49ers when it was set, it's like take you back in time. This is, I think you might feel the same way. I'm going to feel this way. This is almost like it's meant to be. This is destiny for us. Maybe you feel it's destiny for you. Let's get in the playoffs. Let's go back in time when, and get those old rivalries, and let's see if we can give it to the Niners one more time. That's my plan. That's what I'm hoping for.
Hey, absolutely. This is definitely bringing me back to my childhood, and it's just going to be weird meeting in the wild card instead of for a championship, but I like both our chances for getting in there. And I have to say, though, I am going to give the Cowboys some credit here where credit is due, and we're going to bring it up to the kind of the present, a little bit in the past, but the present. I need to thank you and the Cowboys for absolutely destroying us back in 2017 when you walloped us like 40-10. Because you know what happened about a week after that?
No.
We traded for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh,
now you guys are going to see him for the first time Sunday, 4:25.
It's like a love fest here.
No, that's what I want to get into. So let's talk about the game. I haven't seen a ton of the 49ers, I'll be honest. I'm more of a, I live in the NFC East, so I watch primarily a lot of the NFC East games, unless it's a, Sunday night game or they're not playing opposite, but typically Dallas and San Francisco usually play around the same times. What is your so Garoppolo, I mean, he's got an injury, right? He's got his tendon, he's hurt. Are you feeling good with him? They drafted Lance. I thought, he's the one who was going to replace him, but Garoppolo seemed to show some fight. I mean, are you really feeling great about him? Do you like your chances of him to take you guys deep in the playoffs?
You know what? I am. And nothing against Trey Lance, but the way Trey was playing a couple times he started, he's a little bit more of a slower quarterback right now, only because, he's a rookie and he's learning it. The thing with Jimmy, he fits the offense perfectly, with Kyle Shanahan, because it's an up-tempo, and he gets the ball out quick. So in terms of going deep into the playoffs, as long as Garoppolo is healthy, we're definitely not as good as we were a couple of years ago when we made it to the Super Bowl, but, we're right there on the cusp, and now that they're in there, with Garoppolo playing, it's going to be, we're going to be in every game.
Yeah,
hopefully every game once we take you guys out.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen because what's gonna happen, the thing I'll give San Francisco a little bit credit. I was happy. I would rather play Garoppolo than Kyle Murray. I'd rather play Garoppolo than the Rams. I think the Rams matchup, matchup makes fights. And I think one of the things that I think I feel better about is Garoppolo's not going to be running around. Our DNs are pretty fierce, between Gregory and Tank, and then you got Parsons, all aside with COVID, making sure if we're man-on-man healthy, healthy man on healthy man, I like our chances containing him. He does turn the ball over. I think you guys are near the bottom in turnover differential. So I think there's opportunity. But what I'd say is, if you're going to say, hey, what's the concern? I think the Niners' defensive line is going to present a problem for us. And if we can't control that, and we can't, keep Dak clean, give him time in the pocket, run the ball, which we haven't been able to do in a long time. If we can't get that going, it could present a problem for us, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, for sure. That front four in the defense for the Niners, they bring the heat every week, and they're a formidable opponent for anybody. And if they can get to Dak, our secondary is a little subject. I'll be the first to admit it. It's not perfect, obviously, but if we can get to Dak, I think the Niners stand a good shot at coming away with the W.
Hey,
I think honestly, it's going to be a field goal game. To be honest with you, I really.
Well, I don't want to hear that field goal game. You see our kicker; he scares the hell out of me sometimes. So there better not be no field goal game.
And I love a little gold. I love Robbie Gold.
But no,
hey, I got to interject one thing to both of you guys. You're talking about the '90s. Look we claim Deion Sanders. Primetime is a Falcon, not a Cowboy or a Niner.
Well, he came from the Falcons, and then he won a Super Bowl with the Niners and a Super Bowl with the Cowboys, so we perfected him.
He's a Falcon. Yeah. He's a Falcon. Hey, by the way, Jim, I like that Roddy Piper line on the intro.
Oh, thank you. I had a little ad-lib that Roddy did in the movie. but hey, listen, Jimmy.
All kidding aside, let's be real for a minute. You really don't think you're going to whoop us now, do you?
Oh, see, I would say whipping. I would throw it in that corner. I do not like to jinx myself, but I really do feel it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be about either a touchdown or a field goal difference. I don't think anybody's going to run away with it, but I do deep down believe that you should save your money, return your plane ticket, so you don't waste it to go watch the Dallas Cowboys lose.
Ooh, damn!
The most important thing you need to do is about what are you live? Where do you live? You live in New York. You live in
New York.
New York. So it's a 4:30 game for you. So I just want you to get your popcorn. Get ready to see the number one. Yeah, you know what number one means with the number one offense? In case you don't know, let me explain it to you. We are ranked number one. That means we're the best. These 49ers have been taking the easy route. Play another ball. Now I'm going to tell you right now, come 3:30 Central, we're going to destroy that team. We're going to send you packing out west, and we're moving on to the next opponent. So don't take offense to it. I don't want you to be upset. Don't be crying. Don't be making up excuses and all this other stuff that's going to happen after we knock you around the field a little bit. So just understand. No offense. I didn't mean to get excited, but I'm feeling pretty good about this game, and I just want to let you know how it goes.
I think you got your little gumption up there. You got your feelings all nice and wound up, and you're ready to roll. But you guys got to really score for Philly and Washington. So I'm not really too worried.
Wow. Get ready. Relax. Get ready to shed them tears. You guys had a good run. I do thank you for getting the LA, getting the Rams out of the way to bring us up to the third seed. You did your part. You did that because you want a piece of Dallas. Now you're going to get it. So careful what you wish for, my friend. The beating will commence very short.
Hey, I'm looking forward. This is going to be a good one, man. This is just like when I was young. You were young. This is going to be a good one. So.
No, it is. Man. I appreciate you calling in, man. Yeah. No.
Hey,
good luck, but not that much luck.
You guys are doing great.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
right,
bro.
Hey, Jimmy D.
Yes.
Hey, Jimmy D.
What?
I'd like to say a parting thing to you, my friend. Thank you very much for absolutely nothing with your talking and making my Sunday very stressful. I appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. Kiss my ass. Have a good night.
All right, see you guys later.
Take it easy, bro. Thanks for the call. Man.
What is with these 49er fans? We're going to have to get a little dose of reality. See, you guys, I mean, this stuff gets me charged up. You know, I might have to drop a video on the show because I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down.
That was great. Like I said, man, you kept it down the middle, kept it straight. That was good.
I think you were trying to set me up, Jimmy, and I don't like it. If your Falcons
I don't like you either.
Maybe get to the playoffs, then I might turn it around on you a little bit.
Well, we'll see. Maybe next year for us. So.
Oh man.
Anyway.
So I mean, your Falcons. So your Falcons, they got stomped by the Saints. Is that who you guys played?
Yeah, but we were out last week anyway. But the best part is, again, the 49ers win and knock the Saints out, so it makes me happy.
Yeah. No.
You know?
But if we're being honest, if you're breaking down the game, it is. We're the number one offense. We're the number one scoring offense. Their defense is legit. We're going to have to get off to a fast start. I think tempo is going to be important. I think Dak's got to get in rhythm. We have to find a run game. We have to, get that going with Pollard and Zeke. Whoever's a hot hand, that's who they need to run with. But they got to commit to the run because we've got to get everything rolling. And that this defensive line is going to be tough. My goal is for us to get always a 2-score lead because I'd rather see the game in Garoppolo's hands because the Niners can run the ball. I'm not sold on him. I know, this guy calling in is all happy about him. I mean, I don't see it. I'm not impressed. Maybe he's going to, maybe he'll prove me wrong. But if you were to ask me the quarterbacks in the playoffs of who I want to see, he would have been top on the list in the NFC of the teams in there. I'd rather see him than even Hurts. That's saying something.
Well, I guess we'll find out in a few days, man.
No, we'll get it going. It's going
to be a good game.
No, it's going to be good. Unfortunately, I don't think the Falcons they don't come to AT&T. They're going to have to get you out there to get the feel of it. We've had a few, and I'm going to pull up some old clips of when you and I were at AT&T a couple times. When we had the mask on.
That was great.
We're creating some havoc at the Miller Lite Club.
We got to show people some of our kneel matches.
Oh,
yes.
Just for the audience, we do these matches, all our friends, and it's from the Superman. If you watch the old Superman, movie, General Zod. If you really think about that movie, what did he want, Jimmy?
All he wants is for Superman to kneel.
He just wants him to kneel.
Kneel before Zod.
It's the whole movie.
Right.
So we decided to make these kneel matches where if you go to the game with your buddy, if you lose, you have to kneel before them in front of the
crowd,
stadium.
And then social media, it's all over. Right. So.
But the thing that pisses me off, and I've got all the pictures, unfortunately, every time that we're at a game and it's a kneel match, the Cowboys lose. My team will always lose. It was against the Falcons, the Bears, the Broncos, any of our our friends' teams. And then when they don't show up to the game, when they back out of going to the game, Jimmy backed out of the game a few years ago. He couldn't go. We beat the living crap out of him. I got no one to kneel before me. So I'm not crazy about these kneel matches anymore because it seems like I'm always the one getting screwed out of it. But hopefully we'll get back to that because we got the Bears next year. So I'm sure Wayne.
That's slim pickings. That's slim pickings. Yeah.
We better get that one. I'm not gonna. The one I will never do again is the Broncos because how crappy they are or whatever it is, we can't beat them. And I'm done. Like my nephew, I took him to the game. I said you're no longer allowed to go. Thankfully, my brother's a Broncos fan. He won't fly, so I don't have to worry about him no more. So it'll be no more family at the Broncos games.
It's like Eddie Mush from A Bronx Tale. You've been mushed.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I feel like. But yeah, I mean, just wrapping up the Cowboys, I think this is. I really meant what I said, when I put it out after the game. This was meant to be, and I think it's exciting, to get the Niners coming to Dallas. it's almost that nostalgic feeling. And, we take care of them, see what happens in Philly, see what happens to the other team. We're probably going to go to Tampa if we can get past this team. I know it's one game at a time, so I'm not looking ahead, but I'm thinking about, all right, well, if you want to get to the Super Bowl, you got to beat the Niners, you got to beat Brady, and you got to more than likely going to have to beat Rodgers. So you do that, you're battle tested, and then we deserve what we get in the Super Bowl and that opportunity. And that's why I want to tell, this is for all our subscribers and followers, I'm excited about the game. So I brought out, breaking out, I don't know if you can see it, one of my old school picks. That's Russell Maryland. That's Tony Casillas giving Steve Young a beat down in the NFC Championship game. So we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway to all our subscribers, opportunity to win this signed 8x10 by Russell Maryland and Tony Casillas, both of them, multi-time Super Bowl champ, team of the 90s. So all I need is in the comment section, all I want you to do is give me the score and give me the total yards. Who's going to win the total offensive yards, total yards for the team, and whoever's the closest is going to win that. So we're on YouTube. I usually do this on Twitter. It's a much bigger following. Hopefully our followers, we build up, but I wanted to get something because I'm excited for this game. So that's something that we're going to do, and we'll be doing more of that, next year. I've got so much stuff that I can't hang up everything. I try and swap stuff out, but I love finding homes for some of this memorabilia and real Cowboy fans, making sure it's well taken care of.
Hey, and before I forget, when you do subscribe and get the notifications, choose all notifications, because there's 3 different ones you can choose. If you hit customize or personalize, you don't get all the notifications. Make sure you hit all.
Yeah.
Especially because Mikey might be doing some live footage from AT&T.
I'm going to be in AT&T with Cowboys Nation. I'm hoping to hit up some tailgate parties, so we might be dropping some live videos, sneaking in and out a little bit, and really want to give all the fans, and even if you're not Cowboy fans, if you're just sports fans, we're going to have fun. As you can see, with Jimmy and I, we're going to laugh, we're going to talk some smack, we're going to have a good time, and that's what hopefully you guys enjoy that, and that's what we want to bring to you guys every week.
Yep. We appreciate you joining us. Mike, safe travels. Have fun. Make sure you give me a call. Make sure you throw some videos up this weekend.
I'll be dropping some videos. I'll be giving you a call. And Cowboys Nation, just be ready. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. More importantly, I need you to help this man out. He's got like 4 followers.
I need some love.
I got a fair amount of followers. Help the man. Let's get him going. He's not a social media guy, but we got to have him up his game because it's embarrassing to me. We got 1 week. You see the Shrine. You see Emmitt Smith. He's ready. You see CD. We got all the stuff. We're going to bring the past glory of Emmitt Smith coming down to AT&T. He's going to ignite some stuff into Zeke, maybe a little bit into Pollard. You got CDs ready. We got the 88 Club. So we're going to have all this stuff. But all my man's got is it looks like a Falcon pennant he got at the flea market maybe 15 years ago. We got to step up.
About 25 years ago. Actually, one day we're going to get a portable camera. I'm going to bring it to the other room where I got not quite as much as what you have, but I definitely have some sports, some merch going on out there. Some
you
flair.
Have to post a video. You got to post a video for the fans. But definitely, I'll be dropping the hype video. When do we play? Sunday. It's always 48 hours before, so I'll be dropping the hype video on Twitter, Instagram. I don't know if I'll do TikTok. We'll see how I'm feeling. But it'll be on this channel as well. So make sure you guys subscribe, like. We're going to have some fun. And when it's done on Sunday night, it'll be nighttime. I'm going to be partying. As long as we win, which I feel pretty good about, we're going to have a hell of a time on YouTube and in Arlington. We might get up to the penthouse, get some Miller Lights, and party with Cowboys Nation. So you guys be ready.
All night long.
All right, you guys take care. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week. I think we're hyped up with the playoffs. So we'll probably be back going live. We're recording on Monday. We drop it on Tuesday, but the plan is to go live soon. Let us work through the bugs, and we'll get this thing rolling because we want you guys involved. So we'll see you soon. I appreciate it.